Cool. So, first off, a quick note. Our next update is not going to be 2 weeks from now on the 7th of September. Instead, it is going to be on Thursday, September 12th. And that is because I'm going to be in Shenzhen on the 7th, doing QC and touring our factory in person. So we thought that instead of doing a solo update from George, it would be cooler to wait until I got back, and then I could give an update on what I saw when I was there. And possibly, I don't know if we'll have some pictures and other cool behind the scenes stuff. Might have some of that for you on the 12th as well. Okay, cool. So we have two things to give updates on this week, which is the number 2 Rev 1 and the Rama x Keycult brass keycap pre-order. So first, the number 2 Rev 1. The chassis production is going really well. It's on target to be completed when I arrive in Shenzhen to visit, or at least nearly completed, and that's going to be in early September. I think that all of the machining has actually completed already, which is great, except for about half of the brass base plates. So after that, after this, we're going to have polishing, sandblasting, and then anodizing for the aluminum parts. But that's great. It seems like all of that is on schedule. Doesn't look like there are going to be any delays in machining, at least. There could still be other delays or delays introduced from QC issues, but so far it's going great. All of our PCBs arrived last week. They work and look great. We had some pictures of those on Instagram. We also put them up already on the store. Actually, maybe we didn't put pictures on Instagram. I don't remember. We did put them up on the store. So you can, if you need to buy extra 60%, 65%, or 10 keyless PCBs for any past Keycult boards, you can do that now. And this included all of the PCBs for the number 2 Rev 1. So those are all set and ready to go. Packaging, we are going to leave the final packaging a surprise until it all comes together, but we're really happy with it. Everything is coming along very smoothly. The boxes have been approved and are going into production. We received some printed materials yesterday. They'll be included as well, and those look really amazing. We teased those today or yesterday on Instagram.com/keycult, so you can see a little preview of some printed stuff that's going to come with your board. Yeah, Keycult playing cards. They're not playing cards, but it's something else, possibly resembling playing cards. So that's the number 2 Rev 1. So far, everything has been going along smoothly. Chassis in production, PCBs already set, good to go. Packaging in production, and otherwise, pretty good to go. So. Really happy about how all of that's coming along. Still on target to hopefully be fulfilling these in October. If I get there in early September, if we're able to do QC while I'm there, approve everything, that's awesome. There might be a little bit more work to do. Hopefully by the end of September, we've actually taken delivery of those production units, which would be awesome. And then it's just doing our second final round of QC once we actually get things here. Sorting things into A stock and B stock, doing like a final sort of that, and then fulfilling all of the pre-orders. And then only after we've fulfilled pre-orders are we going to sell the 75 additional boards that we made. So we always want to make sure that people who join a Keycult pre-order, they're the first ones to actually receive the board. So we're not going to be selling extras or anything like that before those who trusted us in the pre-order actually received their kit. So that's that. The other project in progress, and this is just a small update, is the Rama x Keycult brass keycaps. The order has been placed, so that pre-order finished, I think it was Monday 2 weeks ago. So our last update was the Saturday before the pre-order concluded. So then 3 days later, the pre-order concluded. We submitted payment. Oops, looks like George disappeared. It looks like he's coming back. Anyways, that payment has been made. it could be that it's going to be a little while until we can deliver those. So we have no control over production of this. This is all done through Rama Works. As you all probably know, they produce a lot of these keycaps for a lot of different people. So there's a fairly long line for production. It looks like it might be 3+ months until delivery. So possibly looking at late November or even early December for when you can expect to actually receive these. And that's one of the reasons as well that we're not like combining shipping between the number 2 and the Rama caps, because we actually hope that the number 2 will be completed and delivered before we actually get these. Getting a quick question in chat: will there be extras for the brass cap? Yes, there will be, but there won't be a ton. But yes, there will be extras available, and hopefully there should be enough that I don't know, maybe there's some crazy demand of people who didn't know about the pre-order, but the pre-order was open for 2 weeks, and we had good numbers, but not like insane numbers. So I expect, given the number of extras that we ordered, that you should be able to get one. And we'll post, we'll give an update during one of these or something like that when we know when those extras will actually be for sale. And that's the update. So pretty short. Just wanted to make sure that everyone knows and is up to date on what's going on. So I guess at that we can just transition into people have any questions about ongoings or anything like that. So Polyju has our first question. Will commission boards come with the all new mentioned packaging? Maybe. Yeah, maybe. We're not completely sure. So one of the challenges of buying nice rigid boxes that are produced in China, which is what makes it economical to do that, is that shipping for them is really expensive. So it's really expensive. It's really expensive to have them produced in the States, and it's really expensive to have them shipped from China to the States. So what we've done this time is we are producing these nice boxes that are going to be sent to our manufacturer, and they are going to pack the number 2s into those boxes. They will then be sent to us. We will unpack them, do QC, repack them, and then send them on. We are additionally going to, when we get those number 2s from them, we are going to have some additional boxes sent to us in the same shipment for commission boards and just other, whatever other things that we need to send. So likely commissions that are being delivered after the number 2s are delivered, those will come with all of the new packaging. Commissions that are delivered before that will come with some elements of the new packaging, but possibly not in our newer style box that you'll see once we deliver the number 2s.
Yeah, it's just a logistical problem, and we'll try our hardest because we're also really excited about the new boxes and the new packaging. So we're going to try our hardest to include whatever we can, and if we can definitely include some of the stuff that we had printed into our old box design. But there's some the new boxes are just kind of we're trying, but might not necessarily happen.
R&D progress on the polycarbonate number 2. There's not really any R&D to be done on it, honestly. It's more it's less R&D and more just that polycarbonate keyboards are a bit of a QC nightmare. We have extremely high standards, as hopefully most of you know, for what is classified as A stock, and polycarbonate scratches very easily. Machining marks show up on it pretty well. Finishing it is pretty expensive and difficult. So it's not really R&D so much as it is our manufacturer convincing us that they can do a really excellent job of it, and that QC can stay really high. So possibly if our next few runs of keyboards, if we have a very low incidence of defects, then maybe we'll be more confident to run something that's like more risky, like polycarbonate keyboards. But right now, would, you know, I don't want to guarantee anything basically.
Big Bucknut. Does winning a raffle decrease your chances to win a future raffle? No. There's no. I guess I'm wondering if he means that, like, if in the same run, if he wins, like, for example, the pre-order raffle and he wants to enter the second raffle. We haven't really talked about that.
Yeah, that's sort of undecided actually.
Yeah.
But no, winning a raffle, like if you won the number 1, for instance, that doesn't lower your chances to have gotten a number 2. If you won a number 2, it doesn't lower your chances to get a 160 when that comes out later this year. Oh, I guess that's another update. We are making progress on the 160 Rev 1. Have some samples on the way, and if we can verify that everything is good to go with those, then we'll be able to move forward next month in September with the pre-order for that. We'll give everyone at least 2 weeks notice for when that pre-order is actually going to be. But anyways, yeah, so it doesn't decrease your chances. Secret Ixie asks about keycap recommendations for Black and Gold number 1 Rev 1. I don't know. I'm gonna let other people maybe chime in on that one. You could ask around the Keycult Discord. Ask around the Keycult Discord. I'm sure people will have suggestions about what they've used on it. But there's a lot of keycap sets on there, and I'm sure there's quite a lot that you can match with Black and Gold.
Yeah, white on black.
Approximate units for the 160. Undecided. Probably similar number of units to the number 2, or maybe a little bit more. So I would say, I don't know, probably 150 to 200. Yep. Probably not.
It's not going to be
more than that.
It's probably not going to be a lot more than that, or more than that.
Yeah. And that's like the reason we might do a little more than the number 2 if there does seem to be a lot of excitement around the release, which I'm sure there is. Is that the 160 is a cheaper board to produce than the number 2. So we can produce more units of it and still be in the same, on the same sort of financial footing in terms of how large of a run we're liable for. So we want to make sure that we also have to consider that when we do the number 160, that is going to start while the number 2 is still in progress. So we're gonna have 2 runs going simultaneously, 2 pre-orders going simultaneously, so we have to kind of consider that as well. There's potentially 2 things that we need to be accountable for simultaneously. We want to make sure that we keep everything at a reasonable scale so that we can be confident in it. Have the number of units for the 165 been decided yet? No.
It'll probably be a similar answer to the one we gave, but like depending on how well we fulfill the number 2s, maybe the number will go up a little bit more. But no, we haven't.
Yeah, the 165 is gonna. So we're only gonna our hope at the moment, or our idea at the moment, is to never have more than 2 pre-orders in progress simultaneously. So we won't do the pre-order raffle for the 165 until the number 2s are being delivered. So once they start being delivered, and like we've done QC, we know that there aren't any like we're not gonna have to remake a bunch of parts or anything like that. Then we'll start taking then we can potentially start taking orders for pre-orders for the 165.
Any ideas on colors for the 160, or is that TBA? It's kind of TBA. We have some color ideas, but we want to get them back. So we're getting samples made, or prototypes made in the colors that we roughly want to go with. But we're waiting for, before we announce anything, we want to make sure that we like the colors and the colors look well together. So we don't want to promise people something and us not like it and then switch it later on.
I guess we can. One thing is, I will say that we are experimenting with some new finishing options that we have not offered in the past.
Yeah, which we're really excited about. How Roark asks, How Rourke asked if Keycult is Keycult a two-man team or are there other folks working behind the scenes? If you don't count our wives, which help us giving us moral support and a lot of other stuff, then no, it's just the two of us.
Like incomes.
Yeah, like incomes and food, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Through the income.
But yes, it's the two of us.
Polyzoo, any plans to release things between releases, for example, miscellaneous types of merch? Yes, there are plans or rough ideas of stuff, but we are a little swamped. Like, it's just the two of us. So we're thinking of doing, general merch and then other more exciting types of merch that people haven't thought about, that people don't necessarily associate with keyboards in general. It's definitely on the to-do list.
Yeah, each new thing is sort of another investment of both time and money. And we chose for this particular run at the moment, we're sort of investing a lot of time and a fair amount of money into making sure that we can do pre-orders really well. And that we can fulfill a larger quantity. And that means some of the stuff that we're doing in terms of like packaging and more assembly happening overseas, me actually going there to do QC in person. So all of that stuff takes time and planning and effort and money, which means we have to not do other things at the same time so we don't get too overloaded. But if all of this goes really well, there are no issues, then we'll have somewhat of a recipe for the next release. And our next pre-order will be not necessarily less work, but a lot more stuff will be like, we'll understand a lot more. There'll be fewer unknowns. We'll have like a solid recipe for how we're going to do it. And once we have that, we might be able to take on some other miscellaneous projects like merch and things like that. But if there's specific stuff that people want to see, feel free to let us know, send us an email, message us on Discord. If there's, kind of miscellaneous merch stuff that you would want from us or want to buy, then let us know, because that might influence us towards doing it. That's another consideration, is we don't want to put out stuff just for the sake of putting out merch. Like, we don't want to put out bad merch. So we're also putting a fair amount of effort into that. And so when we do eventually release that sort of stuff, we hope that it's of a similar quality to what you expect from anything else from us. Secret Ixie asks, will PCBs be an in-stock item? Yes, they will be. We hope for PCBs to be available just as long as Keycult is a thing and we have an online store. We expect to stock and sell PCBs.
I mean, that's not to say that there won't be periods in which we weren't out of stock because of some reason or another, but at least our plan moving forward is to stock PCBs and just be able to sell them at any time.
Yeah, I mean, right now we only have 3 form factors that we have released: 60%, 65%, and 10 kilos. We expect to release more form factors in the future, but that's not very many form factors of PCBs to keep in stock. Also, I think it's worth noting that the style of PCB we're using, this sort of daughterboard style, is becoming more common, and I think there are other PCBs that are going to be available as well that will be compatible with Keycult keyboards. So cool. Any other questions? Anything else that people are curious about or want to know more of? George,
while you guys are thinking of that, I would like to remind everyone that next Saturday, we are having a special stream to kind of commemorate the launch of WoW Classic. We're going to be doing it kind of alongside Teja and a bunch of other vendors. Our initial announcement, we said that we would start it at 5:30, but we're actually starting it at 6:30 Eastern. So just kind of keep that in mind, and we would really love if people would, tune in and join us.
Yep, we're going to be building keyboards to start. Teja is going to be streaming. I'm going to be streaming simultaneously. I think we might be on Discord chatting with each other and stuff. But and then after that, we are going to play some WoW. Fairbanks, is that the place to be, Swingful? So yeah, we haven't decided. We haven't picked a server or a faction yet. So if people have strong opinions, let me know.
Yeah, we might. I might like make a make a straw poll or something for people to kind of vote on factions and servers, because we're going to be playing a few days after, so it might be kind of smart for us to have characters made and stuff before we actually like start streaming, so people don't have to deal with us going through the character creation process, because I don't think that would be very good watching.
Yeah, it's gonna be us, and there's gonna be some other vendors and members of the community joining as well. So I think it's gonna be fun. It's just gonna be a pretty chill, relaxed thing, a way to get to know some keyboard personalities in a context other than keyboards.
Yeah, you can figure out who's the diva and who's the really chill guy, and
For sure.
just general personality traits that you have been dying to know about your keyboard people.
Yeah.
Preference on plates for inks. This is a preference. I personally really like the way inks feel on brass plates. I think they have a really good deep sound, and it's just really, really, it's really nice and pleasant to hear. Our Nightbot is being very judicious with his spamming filter. I apologize for that, Strangful.
Yeah. I think
just
George installed Nightbot.
Yeah, we're
minutes
still
before this stream. So yeah.
Yeah, so we're definitely experts on Nightbot.
Did you answer Secret Ixie's question?
I said that I prefer it in a brass plate. I like the way inks feel in I like how they feel and sound on a brass plate, but you are welcome to add or subtract.
I think that's all I've built it on right now so far. Our inks on a brass plate.
Oh, so maybe that's why I really like it. I don't know anything.
I really liked inks. For sure. It's a great switch. Yeah. I mean, okay. So linears in general, for me, it's I don't know. I guess I personally like brass plates. I like the sound, the deeper thok that brass plates give. I think that's nice. I'm not super sensitive to a really flexy typing experience. However, hopefully some stuff like the leaf spring cuts in the number 2 brass plate will give you something that's more flexy while still giving you the sort of acoustic profile of a brass plate. So that's definitely going to be an interesting thing for folks who normally would lean towards a polycarbonate plate. Might want to try it out. But favorite non-Keycult board I have. So I don't have it anymore, but because unfortunately I sold it while I was trying to start Keycult earlier this year, while we were collecting money for our first release of 160s and 165s. My Dolphin Rev 2 or version 2, really like it, from Lin, Korean keyboard designer. Dolphin, really nice keyboard, and the sort of sandwich mount of that I think feels really good and was a inspiration of mine for the original number 1 in 2017. So that's probably my favorite non-Keycult board that I've used personally is the Dolphin.
My favorite non-Keycult board that I've used but don't have anymore, because it was also gotten rid of in the Great Purging to make this happen, was a board that I affectionately called the Zaki Special, because it was made for me for my birthday. It was a TX87.
Yeah.
And it was much excellence. It was very good.
Yes, we do plan on offering those plates later. There will be extras immediately available for number 2 owners, for original number 2 owners, because those plates will be compatible. We need to get plates produced for the number 1, which we will, but we don't yet have a timeline on that just yet.
Yeah, and the other plates will probably be released with their other counterparts, like the 60 and 65.
That makes sense. Yeah. So like when we have so if you have a 1-1, then it's possible that this happens before. So we are planning on doing another release of number 1 TKLs towards the end of this year. And so you will definitely have access to those plates then, and then you will maybe have access to them before that.
So we can talk more about this, but like if it's looking like we might not like if some sort of delay in manufacturing or anything, and we might not get to the one to the 1.1 the other 1.1 release, we might just have a small run of them made before the end of the year so that people with a 1.1 can.
You can also have them made yourself. We released, if you go to keycult.io if you go to keycult.io and then you click on the resources tab, I think it's resources. Yeah. We have a bunch of plate files for download, including the number 1 Rev 1 10 keyless plate. And you could add those like leaf spring cuts to it, and they're pretty easy to reverse engineer. So if you wanted to, you could have one made right now. You would just have to know a little bit about you'd have to be able to modify the design or work with someone who's willing to modify the design. But we will release plate files. If you don't even want to reverse engineer it, after we ship the number 2, we will release plate files for that as well. So we're planning on, at the moment, our current sort of plan is that we're going to be releasing plate files after those respective boards are delivered or released or whatever. So yeah. So you'll definitely have an opportunity to get it, and if you want one sooner, you can potentially have one made for yourself sooner. Cool beans.
Let's see. Let's give it a few minutes. Anyone, or maybe a minute, to see if anyone else has any questions, and then if that's the case, then we can call it a cool 30-minute stream.
Yeah, for sure. Have we checked out the Iron 165? Yes, a bit. Looks like a cool board. Seems like a pretty premium option. I haven't looked. I mean, so I know I know of one of the people who is involved in the project, who's a very nice guy, who I've talked to in the capacity of Keycult, or about Keycult boards in the past. Any linked it to me. It seems like a cool board, but I don't really have anything in particular to say about it. I mean, I'm sure that if you, I don't know. Yeah, I guess you have to decide.
Decisions are hard.
Just get one of each. That's the obvious. That's the obvious answer. That's the obvious answer. But yeah. All right.
Cool.
Well, thanks everyone. That was our bi-weekly update. As always, if you have any questions or anything like that, you can always get in touch with us through email. You can email hello@keycult.io. You can get in touch with us on Discord. You probably heard about this through Discord, but if you haven't, or if you're looking at this on YouTube later on, our Discord is available at keycult.io/Discord. That will that's an alias for an invite link to join our Discord server. So cool. I hope you all have a great week. Oh, yep.
Remember that the next update is on September 12th, not on the 7th.
Yep. Next update is going to be a little more than 2 weeks from now. We also posted in Discord in the frequently asked questions channel. There is now a little mini calendar of these updates. So if you're ever curious about when the next one is going to be, you can check out that calendar and you'll know it. So awesome. You guys have a awesome week, and I will talk to you all again soon.
Great night, everyone.